We all understand that life can be very unfair at times. There seem to be some people out there who are born with all the advantages and other people who seem to have all of the disadvantages. You may even understand this on a local standpoint. Like somebody who may seem to have everything going for them. They didn't even have to work for it versus where you are, maybe the cards that you were dealt don't seem to be as favorable. And I definitely do understand that, and I'm not going to pretend like that doesn't exist. I know, at least for myself, I have been very lucky and I'm very grateful for it to have been born like in a first world country like America, to have had access to food, water, the electricity, internet, and just like all of these good things. And I understand that there are people out there who may have had to deal with, being in a war stricken country, may not have had as much access to like some of the resources like food, water, or like safe to drink water and things like that. But even acknowledging this, even if you weren't dealt as good cards as like some other people, what you've got to understand is that one, yes, life is unfair, and that's just the way that it is. We cannot control that. Like, that's just the way that nature is. But at the same time, you absolutely cannot take the victim mentality. The victim mentality pretty much says, life is happening to me, therefore my life is, up to chance. So pretty much the events that happen to me, that's what determines the way that my life turns out. And it's this very convenient excuse because by doing this, we can save our ego and we can explain the reason that we're not successful. We can explain the reason, oh, why we didn't get the things that we wanted. Oh, it's because, I was born in this country, or oh, it's because this person did that thing to me, or it's because, I grew up in an abusive household and all of these things. And while they very much do seem like good excuses, and of course, like they are real problems, for the sake of yourself and like having control of your life and making your life better, you can't take that victim mentality, because by having that victim mentality, it takes the power away from you. Instead, the mentality that is so much more beneficial, even if it hurts at first, is just to take full responsibility for your life and the way that things affect you. We all understand that there are people who have come from the absolute worst of situations, like situations that we cannot not even imagine, like being in this contemporary world, but they have gotten themselves out of it and built themselves to be successful in like some aspect. And we also understand that there's people who were born with all of the advantages, their cards were just like laid out from them from birth, and, everything seemed to be perfect for them. But somehow they had a downfall. Somehow they ruined everything because for whatever reason, right? So you can't say and you can't blame life or things happening to you for, the way that your life turns out. There has to be something else. And I've wondered this for a long time. Like, why is it that some people are able to have very successful, easygoing lives and like come from the worst of situations? And why is it that some people, even when they have like the best cards like set out for them, that they can somehow like become failures and like in the way that a lot of people like think of failures? The reason is life really just becomes easier when you get better. You are like the main controller, the main determinant in the way that your life turns out. I think one of the easiest ways to explain it is to use the analogy of a game, because a lot of you watching this video probably have like played some form of game, whether it's like video game, board game, whatever. And in a lot of games, at times it can seem like some players just like randomly get lucky. Like say there's some event going on and like the people who are online like get all these benefits or whatever. And essentially by some random chance, some players seem to have like more advantages. But even though that happens, you as a player are the main determining factor, as in how much progress you can make in that game. Like you can have a complete noob who's like very new to the game, and for some reason, like say there's just some like thing going on in the game where they get all of these rewards just for like logging in at this certain time or like being a new player. I don't know. I'm just coming up with a random example. Yeah, they do have like an advantage in that sense. But at the same time, if you as a player, even if you didn't have that advantage, if you just keep grinding, if you just keep using and like learning about the game and like strategizing, okay, what are the things that I can do to like improve myself in this game and like rank up, level up, whatever it is, you'll be able to win in your own sense. Like, it's not healthy. For one, it's not really healthy to compare yourself to others because some people may be starting out a little bit further ahead than you are, or they may be a little bit behind. So you can't really compare like where you are to where they are because, obviously we don't all have the same cards. We don't all have the same advantages. We don't have the same disadvantages. But as you start to grow up and mature and understand, okay, these are the cards that I've been dealt and these are the things that I can do. These are some of the things that I can't do. You're going to start to learn how you can win, not how somebody else can win, how you can win. Like, it's so silly to think, okay, well, oh, well, if I was born like in a richer family, then it'd be so much easier for me to be an entrepreneur. But because my life wasn't like that, well, now I can't be a successful entrepreneur. Like, no, that's complete bullshit. Yes, you may not have had like the advantages of having that network or, the reference experiences and like all of these things that would have made it easier for you to be successful in that certain area. But with the cards that you have, you can level up from where you are to eventually get to the point that is successful for you. Like if you were, I don't know, born with $1 million to your name because like your family just gave it to you for some reason, right? Yes, it would be easier for you to create a successful business and just like retire financially free, whatever. It'd be so much easier for you to do that. But at the same time, a person who was born with nothing and they're just like starting from ground zero, they can still make it there. Like it may take a little bit more time, sure, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you get to where you want to be, you can still win. And it's a thing a lot of people just don't take the time to realize because they're so focused on the cards that they've been dealt and, being ungrateful for the things that they've been given. But instead, if you can just like accept what you have right now and stop focusing on what everybody else has and just use what you have, use your own like personality, it could be your like personality, the resources you have available to you, or just whatever it is, just use your cards to your advantage. Life is going to become so much easier for you. And I completely understand if you don't want to take this mental route and like have this kind of mindset because it is uncomfortable, especially to adopt at first, because now you have to take the responsibility. Now your ego takes a hit and all of these things. But the only alternative really is to just accept that life is going to happen to you and pretty much to like lay back and let life happen to you. Now, depending on where you are, this could be a good thing. Maybe, things are already set up for you and, your life could still be easy. But for the majority of people, I'd say like 99.99% of people, if you just lay back and just like allow life to happen to you, things are not going to turn out the way that you want them to. It's such a far better strategy to just, accept the things, accept the way that life is, figure out what you do have in your control, because you can't control everything. Just find out what you can do, what is in your area of control, and use that to your advantage, use that to level up. And as you become better, your life will get easier. Say it's attracting girls, right? You may be upset because it's like, oh, well, these guys were kind of just born chads, they play sports and I'm like, I don't have their same genetics or all of these different things, or, I'm not as tall as these other guys. Okay, yeah, you may not have these things, and yeah, this is unfair. Like, this is just life, though. Instead of focusing on the advantages that these people have and, like, focusing on, oh, well, it's so unfair that these guys are chads and I'm not. Okay, focus on a way that you could level up with where you're at right now. Okay, you may be out of shape. What can you do to get back in shape? Or, oh, your height may not be where you wanted to. Okay, what can you do in spite of that to build yourself up to become like an attractive, high value man? Stop focusing on the things that you can't change. Stop focusing and like having this victim mentality. Focus the ways in which you can improve, and you're going to make so much more progress because the things that are going to happen in life are going to happen anyway. You're just wasting your time focusing on or like having this victim mentality and just like complaining every time something bad in life happens to you. Let life happen to you, but do everything in your power to win, because this is like your only chance. Nobody outside of yourself is like really going to come and save you, or you can't really bet on that to, because it's just like not probable. You've got to use your cards. You've got to become better because your life will become way easier. It's the only way that I think is rational. It's only like rational strategy, in my opinion. But it is your life. Do what you want to do. If you got some value from this video, leave a like, subscribe, all of that. Peace out.